Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, wherever you might be watching from. My name is Adwish, and I am your host from Cloud by Command, where we're going to dive into the future of Africa's technology. What is that? Andasy. Now, do you know what that platform is? Allow me to read and tell you what it does. It's currently changing how developers. If you're watching this and you're a developer, it definitely changes how you are able to build your application, to deploy, and to scale your app. Now, before we jump into it, I want you to take time and think about this. You and I, we usually watch movies, right? We usually press that play or pause button. Very easy. Now, imagine if you were to launch an app in a most easy way like that. You just press play. Interesting, right? Now, because we are going to talk about something I'm not quite familiar with, I decided to bring a guest on board who is very much going to tell us a little bit more about what Andasy does, and you're able to, going to understand what it does. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine.
Who are we here with?
My name is Shema Fred. I am a software engineer here at Quarks, and I've been working on Andasy as well.
Great. Now, before we dive into that, if you're watching this and you're not a developer, trust me, you're going to talk about different tech lingos, but we're going to make sure, me and Shema, we're going to make sure you explain further. Now, Shema, please tell us a little bit about yourself before going to Quarks Group and where you got a little bit of knowledge regarding developing.
I would say we started with the Quarks Group. I started my career with Quarks Group,
Okay, nice.
working on different applications. We started with the payment gateway. That gave us the knowledge to build reliable systems, because when it comes to financial systems, you need a reliable system.
Okay.
So when we started working on the sea, we wanted to build a platform that can host that system. So we wanted a very reliable system so that we don't have any outages, something like that. So when we started with that system, we built it to facilitate people to initiate payments and everything. And then we are in the regulatory compliance. There is a clause of hosting your applications in Rwanda. They have sensitive information. And when we wanted to check out a partner that can be able to host our platform, we found that it is a very rigorous system. You have to go through a lot of checks and everything, making sure that your servers are working well, making sure that everything is set up on your side. So when we deployed that application there, we found that deploying a lot of applications, it's very hard to go through a lot of those systems to make sure that they are secure. So the DevOps infrastructure is very hard to manage. So that's what we wanted to abstract away from the developers of Rwanda.
Okay, that's nice. You just talked on the question I was about to ask, like what inspired the creation of Andasy. Now, how does its builder system simplify, the process of taking a code and then running into an application itself?
So when we say builders, are remote Docker builders. So the system that we have makes sure to detect which application you're running, what languages are you running, and then generate a Docker file that is based on your application. So that helps us to make sure that we have a reliable image that we can run every time, because that's the improvement of Docker. So building an image that can be run without thinking about its dependencies. Every time you run it, it will be running like that. So the builders are there to facilitate that, because we noticed that not everyone has a Docker installed in their machine. So if you have a remote builder, every organization has a builder, so you can deploy. When you deploy, it goes to that builder and builds your system for you.
Okay, that's simple.
Yeah.
Very good. Now let's talk about creating an account in Andasy itself. I personally have a personal account. I'm not a developer, but I will be. And can you tell me like how can one create an account and the difference between a personal account and an organization account, because I know it's different, and how does it typically, how is it used by developers or a team or an organization?
So to create an account, we have a dashboard, andasy.io. You can go there and then create an account. It's doesn't require you a credit card right now, so you can create a free account. And then when you get there, you are assigned with a personal account organization. So it's also an organization, but it's for you only.
Oh, okay.
So, and then for organizations, you can create a new team for your organization and invite all your developers for a specific project. So one of the use cases that we saw is creating an organization for a specific platform. So if you have a backend, a front end, and a database, you create an organization for it, because one of the security that is there is isolating every organization to its app.
Yeah.
So you can talk to your apps in the internal network.
Okay.
But for multi organizations, you don't have access to talk to the other app.
Okay, I hope that's clear to the people watching. Now let's go back to something you mentioned earlier about Docker image. Now it's something that is not familiar to the Rwandan community, right? And especially to like students who are developers watching this. Why did you choose to, make Docker as part of your workflow? And what are the advantages does it bring to the developers itself?
So as I said, Docker is a very mature in technology, so it has a lot of compatibility with other applications. It's very standardized, so it's easy to connect to different platforms. Also, it brings us that crucial thing about running your images reliably every time, because we don't have to make sure that maybe your file system is not corrupted or everything. But if we have an image, we can download it and then run it every time without an issue. So that reliability of Docker is why we chose it. Although we don't run it in the runtime, we harnessed its advantages to make sure that it is either easier for developers and easier for us to make sure the workflows are running reliably.
Okay, so how about in the long run?
In the long run, we expect to support a lot of technologies like this. We can go with maybe Docker Compose to provision services that are connected directly, or Kubernetes, which is also the same. So when we started, we wanted to make sure that we take the most compliant and easier to use. And as developers get familiar with it, we can expand to that.
Okay, so meaning to developers, maybe like children who are in high school and they want to make an app, that's one of the main reasons why you use Docker, because it's like simple for them to familiarize with.
Yes, because you don't need a lot of learning. It's only understanding the language of the Docker file. And after that, you can expand to multi-connected applications using Docker Compose, or something that is used in large organizations like Kubernetes.
Okay. Now, there are other traditional hosting platforms, right? Or platform as a service, PaaS. Now, if someone who is watching this is migrating from that traditional hosting platform, what's the first thing they should know about Andasy? How does it work differently?
So I would say Andasy works in different ways, because traditional providers usually provision a virtual machine for you, And then you have to install packages, manage certificates. So everything is, all the DevOps is on you. You have to manage it. But for us, we provide a centralized platform where you can get a centralized logging system, a metric system. You can SSH, you can add custom domains, and we manage that for you. So it's abstracting the DevOps to those teams and making sure that they focus on building their applications, making sure that they are running well, instead of also thinking about DevOps and all the extra things that are needed to run a successful application.
Okay, so I want a person who is watching this to have a clear understanding. Andasy, what it does is mainly take the rock off of your shoulders and do all the work for them. Is that true?
Yes.
So in simple words, what does it do, and where can someone find it to be able to sign up and start using it?
So right now you can go to andasy.io. There is both login and sign up. When you sign up, we provision you free resources that you can use while you are testing the the platform.
Free resources. That
Yes.
thing.
So that you can see how it's working. Does it meet your needs? And then after that, you can request more resources. And our billing system is by pay as you go. So the more traffic you get, the more resources you use, the more you pay. So by now, the free resources that we provide, we believe that it's enough for maybe a small startup to try to provision a server and then see, is it working for my platform, and then if they decide if they can switch. But I would say the model of a static payment every month is not the best for startups in Rwanda, because you start with a low number of traffic, so it's not a lot of usage you're getting. But for after you get more users, it means that maybe a business model is working, and you start paying for the server outright. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shema. Now that you're wrapping up, we just explored the inspiration behind the platform, which you mentioned earlier, the developers' pain points it solves. Could you please list them?
It's like I would say maybe trying to make sure that your application is running well is a hassle, and adding the pressure of making sure that it's secure, and making sure that there is no intrusion is also another task. And I've seen that people usually try to escape that, maybe provision a few simple rules and leave it. So it's both beneficial to the product owner and the developers, because the product owner is have a safe mind to say that my application is running well, and also the developer doesn't need to half-ass that DevOps work.
Definitely. And you also saw that you who is watching this, you can create your account right now as I'm talking. Pause and create your account on andasy.io. And you mentioned that for teams and individuals, you get different benefits, right?
So it's the same, because it's per organization. An organization gets free resources that is assigned to them.
Okay, but I remember there's a time we're having a discussion and you mentioned something about, let's say I have an organization of 6 people. It's not the same for a person who is starting on their own, right? Because you're able to give them credentials and all that.
If you are an organization, you can invite your developers to that organization. So it's the same, but that is not considered as a personal account. So the personal account is the one that gets free resources, And then when you create an organization, is handled as a different entity from you. So you have access to the applications and everything, but it is not given those free resources.
So before we wrap up, there's something you mentioned that made me ask myself a question. If a personal account has free resources, right? Can I, who has an organization, know about that news and then I sign up for a personal account just to be able to use the free resources?
No, because whenever you sign up, you are already provisioned the personal account. And then if you want to separate applications, that's when you create a new organization to maybe isolate your application from others.
Okay, thank you very much. So in our next segment, we are going to discuss about the deployment workflow and the daily operations of Andasy, covering everything, from domain to ephemeral apps. Thank you very much, Shema. Let's get into another episode.